taxi driver traveling on Gloucester Road collided with a crane truck on July 25th, resulting in fatal injuries for the driver and injuries to 3 passengers in the car. The driver, a 60-year-old man named Che Deming, lived in Siu Saiwan Estate with his wife and daughter. Prior to becoming a taxi driver, he worked as a private driver since graduating from secondary school. He works early each day, usually between 4 and 5 a.m., and often worked long hours until around 9 p.m. In the taxi industry, working all day is often referred to as special shifts. Usually, car owners lease their taxis to drivers for day or night shifts, but for special shifts, the same driver rents the taxi throughout the day. Based on the accounts of many forum users, specifically those who work special shifts, taxi drivers typically earn around $30,000 to $40,000 per month. Mrs. Che expressed her frustration that her husband was working tirelessly every day and would only come home to sleep. She also mentioned that he had a quick temper and would often scold her, but she had grown accustomed to it. Despite suffering from a long-term illness, Che Deming continued to work hard to support his family. He required regular follow-up medical visits and kept cholesterol-lowering and blood pressure-lowering medication on hand at home. Mrs. Che shared that her husband had been involved in 2 traffic accidents in the past, one a few months ago on Patterson Street in Causeway Bay, and the other last year in the Eastern Corridor. In the second incident, the taxi lost control and hit a lamppost, but her husband was fortunate enough to escape injury. Mrs. Che also mentioned that she and her husband met and married in Guangzhou before having their eldest daughter there. They then moved to Hong Kong, where they had their second daughter, and they lived in public housing. Their eldest daughter has already graduated from school and started working, but the family's income is still limited. Meanwhile, their younger daughter is in her 3rd year of university and has at least 1 more year until graduation. Mrs. Che pointed out that she used to work as a food runner in a restaurant, but due to her husband's recent passing, she may need to find additional work outside of the home to support the family. Jason Poon, a Hong Kong construction engineer and current affairs commentator, mentioned that the crane truck involved in the accident lacked a rear underride guard, which ultimately contributed to the death of the taxi driver. After the annual vehicle examination, a lot of construction truck drivers are illegally removing or raising the rear underride guards. This is because, according to the law, the rear underride guard must be installed at a distance of 550 mm from the ground, but drivers believe that this can result in collision accidents when entering or leaving construction sites. The illegal removal or raising of the rear underride guard could lead to a fatal accident if another vehicle were to rear-end the truck.